Hello, son. Hello, boys. Hello, girls. How are you? Today's story is Hello, Sun. Early in the morning, Charlie Rabbit, Weasel, and Badger picked through the bushes and saw an unusual sight. Quentin, the little hedgehog, stood on his hind legs, bathed in the light of the sunbeam. Quentin was never awake during the day. He was so happy he felt like singing. Little light, with all your might, you help the flowers grow. You make me cheerful every day. You warm me, you warm my little toe. That's not little light, laughed Charlie Rabbit. That's the sun. It's bigger than the whole forest. If it's so big, why can't we see it? Asked Quentin. The trees block out the sun and only let a few sunbeams through. That's why the forest is so dark. Silly, replied Charlie. But what does the sun look like? Asked Quentin. Good question. I don't know, said Charlie, and I don't care. As long as I have green to nibble and flowers to smell, I'm happy. Why do you care anyway? You're a night creature. But Quentin was not satisfied. He wanted to know all about the sun. So he decided to visit the wise owl. Imagine a giant juicy berry, explained the owl. That's what the sun looks like when it rises every morning. At midday, the sun looks like a big flower growing in the sky. And in the evening, it disappears behind the mountains like a huge ball of fire. The sun is most beautiful when seen from above the treetops. The more Quentin heard about the sun, the more he wanted to see it for himself. Suddenly he had an idea. I'm going to build a tree house at the top of the tallest tree. That way I can see the sun every day. Good idea. Quentin went home to plan his tree's house. When Fox heard about Quentin's idea, he came up with a wicked plan of his own. I hear you're building a tree house, Fox said. Aren't you a little small to do that? I'm not, said Quentin. Really? Fox paused. How about a little bet? If you finish it in 3 days, I will cook up a feast for you three housewarming party. But if you lose, Fox continued, you'll have to clean up my messy barrow. It's a deal, said Quentin. Fox's mouth watered. Hedgehogs were his favorite dinner, but they were difficult to catch because of the sharp spine. Soon Quentin would be cleaning up his barrow and Fox would easily be able to throw him into a pot of boiling water. What a delicious dinner it will be, thought Fox. Early next morning, Quentin went to see Beaver. Would you be interested in a little trade? He asked. If I collect twigs for you, Dam, would you cut some wood for my tree house? I could use a chance of pays, said Beaver. It's a deal for a bundle of twigs. I'll have all your wood cut by tonight. Quentin finished the job so quickly he was able to spend the entire day fishing. When Fox passed by and saw Quentin, he laughed to himself. Obviously, Quentin had not started to build his tree house. Charlie and his friends stopped by and teased Quentin. "Guess you gave up on your tree house." Then they started singing. "Quentin is a bragger who longs to see the sun. He wants to build a tree house but hasn't yet begun." Quentin ignored them. Just 2 more days until he would finally see the sun. Ooh. The next day, Quentin went to see Squirrel. "Would you be interested in a little trade?" he asked. "If I collect nuts for you today, would you climb high up on the trees and build the walls for my treehouse?" "Well, I am a little tired of looking for nuts," said Squirrel. "It's a deal. For a basket of acorns, I'll help build your treehouse." Quentin gathered acorns quickly. When his basket was full, he decided to take a rest. Fox was surprised to see Quentin napping. "He's making it easier for me than I thought," he laughed. Charlie, Weasel, and Badger soon came along singing. "Quentin is a bragger who longs to see the sun. He wants to build a tree house but hasn't yet begun." Quentin didn't respond. In the warm light of the sun ray, he dreamed about seeing the sun. "Just 1 more day," he thought. The next morning, Quentin went to see Robins. "Would you be interested in a little tree?" he asked. If I babysit your little one today, would you fly high up in the trees and build a roof for my tree house?" "We sure could do with a break from those little rascals," sighed Mrs. Robin. "It's a deal. If you watch our children all day, we will finish your roof by tonight." Very smart, Quentin, don't you think, Tino? Quentin spent all day telling stories to the little robin. Fox was pleased when he saw Quentin sitting in Robin's nest. "Tomorrow I'll have my bed," he said to himself, "and then I shall have the finest hedgehog supper I've ever had." Yes. Soon Charlie and his friends started to tease Quentin again. "Quentin is a bragger who longs to see the sun. He wants to build a tree house but hasn't yet begun." Oh, but they didn't know that Quentin was smarter than them. They sang the silly song again and again until the robin flew down the tree. The chirped. "Your tree house is finished." "Finished?" gasped Charlie. "Yes," said Quentin. "Come, look." There it was, a beautiful tree house high up in the branches of an old oak tree. Everyone was impressed, especially Charlie. "Wait a minute," Fox said suddenly. "How are you going to get all the way up there?" "Oh no, Quentin hadn't thought about that." "You have lost our little bet," said Fox. "I shall be expecting you in the morning at my place." Fox left with a big grin on his face. Quentin felt awful. Quietly, Charlie asked, "Would you be interested in a little trade?" What do you mean?" asked Quentin. "If Badger, Weasel, and I help you build a rope ladder," said Charlie, "could we climb up to your treehouse and have a look at the sun too?" "It's a deal," exclaimed Quentin. If the light of many dancing fireflies, the forest animal built a long rope ladder. It took them all night. When the first sunbeams broke through the thick forest, they were finally done. Everyone was excited. Soon they would see something that very few forest animal had ever seen. Quentin was the first to climb up the ladder. His heart was beating loudly when he reached the top. Oh, the sun welcomed him with the warmest light. "Hello, sun!" shouted Quentin. The others joined him, greeted the sun too. Then Charlie started to sing. "Great big the sun, you're so bright. You bathe the sea in your glow. Your guide is sun, you're our light." He wouldn't have. All day long the animals came to admire Quentin's tree house. They brought flowers and gifts and a huge appetite. Fox served up quite a feast. Together they watched the sun. It was so bright and beautiful as Quentin dreamed it would be. I wouldn't have traded this moment for anything. Oh, that's the end of this beautiful story. Okay, we have learned many things of this story, right, Tino? He was very smart. He was very intelligent, and he reached his dreams. He always wanted to say hello to the sun very close, and he did it. That's right. Never give up in your dreams, boys and girls. And if you have a dream, do everything you have to. Work hard, but always you can reach. You can achieve your goals always when you have them in your heart. Thank you very much for this fantastic story, and I hope you like it. I liked it. Did you like it, Tino? Okay, thank you very much and see you next time in our next class. Bye-bye. Bye.